Hello everybody, welcome to Distance Learning 101. In this video, we're going to talk about staying connected with students and why it's so important. Now, if you're making a shift from a classroom environment to suddenly having a distance learning environment, one of the things is that a lot of your students are going to be fine with it. They're going to check in, they're going to do the work that's assigned, whether it's a paper packet, whether it's something through a learning management system, and they're going to make progress and they're going to stay connected with you. However, for a lot of students, this is going to be a completely new experience, and especially in the beginning, they're going to struggle with it. And just think about it. They've gone from a bell-to-bell experience in classes where teachers are going to be nudging them along if they're not working to in a different environment, whether that's home or someplace else, and they are going to have so many distractions, whether it's other people in the house, whether it's Netflix, video games, friends, lack of sleep, distractions, procrastination. All these kinds of things can add up to make it difficult for a student to get their work done in a timely manner and to stay engaged with their learning. So don't be surprised, especially in the beginning, if you have a significant number of students that don't seem to be connected at all. What we know from that is that your actions at that point in time can make a huge difference in getting a lot of those kids back in and involved with the learning. In the state of Minnesota, we have a requirement that each school district connect with a licensed teacher connect with each student on a daily basis. Now, if you're a high school teacher and you've got a couple hundred students, that's probably improbable that you can have a one-to-one connection with that. So how your school organizes that is one thing on the side, but how you're going to handle that as a teacher is another thing. And these are some things that we've learned that have helped our teachers stay connected with our students as we've done distance learning over the past 15 years. The first is the most obvious, which is to connect with your students, reach out to your students. There are a lot of ways to do this. You can, everything from as simple as pick up the phone and call or call a parent, depending upon the age level and the type of system you've got. If you've got a learning management system, there's messaging built right into it. You can send out a message to everyone and you can connect individually very efficiently with students that you haven't seen produce any work or haven't seen you check into the system. Other creative things. Email can work, although kids generally don't check that, but if you can get them in the habit of doing that, that can sometimes work. Flipgrid has a really neat system, and other tools and apps have really neat systems that allow teachers to connect in. So you may want to take some time and explore something like that. The nice thing about a Flipgrid system is that you can do it asynchronously, so you can leave a message in the morning to a student, and at some point in time, that student can reply. Then again, if you've got a learning management system, you've got a messaging system like Canvas or Moodle, you've got a messaging system built right into it, and you can do it that way. Texting through Google Voice can be a way to mask your own personal phone number and yet have some kind of a texting connection with your students. And again, a lot of these things involve a lot of different choices. There's tons of different ways to do it, but the key point is connecting as frequently as possible, that your students hear from you as frequently as possible so they know someone cares about their learning, someone's watching over their learning, and someone is there kind of monitoring their progress and presence. That's the biggest thing we can do. So if you stay disengaged when kids don't bring stuff in or kids don't get involved in the learning, they're going to think it's okay to stay disengaged. We want to let them know that's not the case. The second part of this that's connected to the stay connected is to connect fast. Don't wait 3 or 4 days if you don't see an activity to connect with a student. It's hard, I know, but as soon as you can, if you can connect the next day after someone wasn't present that previous day, say, hey, I noticed I didn't get this assignment. Hey, I'm wondering what's going on. The faster you can connect with students, the more effective it's going to be. Don't wait. The third thing is, I would advise what has worked well for me in connecting with students is to be helpful. It's easy to assume negative intent if something doesn't come in. Why didn't you do it? But a lot of kids are going to be struggling with this, even with the best intentions. Stuff is going to happen. I've had a lot more success when I reach out to students and say, hey, I noticed you didn't get this done yesterday. You didn't check into the system. I haven't seen any work from you for the past couple days. I'm wondering, is there anything I can do to help you get on? And if you could explain to me what's going on. Is it something in your study situation or anything like that? But reach out and try to find out what the cause is. Procrastination is a habit too. Procrastination takes time to beat. Kids will struggle with this. Giving kids advice and strategies for procrastination and how to beat it can be super helpful as well. But the idea is to support them in getting their work on rather than chastising and criticizing and saying bad dog for not getting it done. Kids are going to struggle this for a lot of very, very good reasons. Be helpful in your support of them. The last thing I'd say is when you do check into students and reach out to students is to be specific about what you'd like them to do. say, I noticed I didn't get this from you yesterday. It would be great if you could log into your learn into the learning management system, do this assignment, and turn it in by the end of the day. Do you think you can do that? And how might I help if that's not the case? So to give them specific instructions for how they can be successful in that next step of their learning, so they don't have to do any thinking about what that is. Now, it sounds like maybe you're doing a little bit of the thinking for them, but if you really want them to get started, we want to make that initial success of getting back engaged in the learning as simple for them and easy for them as possible. So there you have it, the 4 tips. Connect with your students, connect fast with your students, be helpful, and be specific. Those are the things that we've found very helpful in helping kids shift and be successful in a distance learning environment surrounding the areas of teacher-student connection and how that works with the student learning experience. Thank you.